All right, hello, this is Kevin. Say hi.
Hi.
All right, Kevin, you have no experience with snare drum or any type of percussion, really. You're a string player, right?
Yes, I am. Yes.
Okay, so you really don't know what to do.
Nope, not at all.
Okay, so we're going to get started by teaching you basically what we're going to do when we play snare drum. This is obviously not a snare drum. This is practice pad, but it gives you a replica of the same feel as snare drum would when you strike it.
Okay.
And it's just used for, quieter practicing, stuff like that. But for this teach, it'll be just fine. Now, some checkpoints to do before we actually start beating on the drum. We have some checkpoints to go over, and do you see where the eye is in Vic Firth?
Yes.
It'll come straight down the center of the drum, and that's where you want to be. You want to be parallel to the drum with your body, and you don't want to have your knees bent. You don't want to have your knees locked because you'll pass out, which is no bueno. Just relax, feet about shoulder width apart. You don't want to have them more than shoulder width apart because you'll be really crouching. It's not good. You don't want to have them too narrow because then you won't have balance. On to the next thing. You want your drum at about belt buckle level height. So this is pretty close for you, is it?
Yes, it is.
Okay. And then your arms, whenever we do start playing, we don't want to have our arms all the way up here. We don't want to have them at a weird angle. Just very nice and relaxed whenever we're playing. It's going to be very natural motion. Okay. So for the sake of today, we're going to be learning match grip. We do have two grips when we play snare drum. For concert purposes, we use match grip, but for marching purposes in Texas, we use a traditional grip, which almost looks like you're holding a chopstick in your other hand. It's really not fun to do, but they both do the same purpose. One just looks cooler, and that's really the only reason we use it in marching band. So you take this stick, and I'll take this stick, and the first step in matching your match grip is to find the point where you get the most balance, aka your fulcrum point on the stick. So we're going to start in the back and see where we can get the most balance. A little bit there, keep moving it up. A little bit there. Right about the American flag is where I like mine on these Vic Firth ST1 General sticks. So you're going to find yours. A little bit. Yeah, it's getting better. Pretty close. Does that feel comfortable to you?
Yep.
Alright, so the next thing when we come to match grip is we're actually going to have to grip the stick. You're going to have your fulcrum in between your thumb and your pointer fingers, but you don't want to have your pointer finger extended on the stick. You don't want to have your thumb extended on the stick, and you don't want this to wrap all the way around your pointer finger. You want it to rest just very naturally at your fulcrum point with your thumb and pointer finger. So can you wrap your thumb and pointer finger around your fulcrum? That looks good. And then you want your back fingers to gently touch the stick. One big thing to be aware of is you don't want your pinky just off in the air. That's no good. It looks very weird. We're not British. We don't do this in this country. So, and every time you strike the drum, you always want to have your back fingers on it, but just very lightly. So let me see your grip. See underneath it. That looks good. And now I'm going to teach you the first stroke. The first stroke is just the simple rebound stroke, and it's called rebound stroke because it rebounds right back to the top. So if I wanted to do a rebound stroke, I don't want to put my whole arm into it. I want to use mainly my back fingers and my wrist to give it that full stroke. So let's see if you can do it. Yeah, not bad at all. One thing I forgot to mention is that your back of your stick needs to come to the heel of your hand. So it looks like it was doing that anyways, but I do need to mention that for teaching purposes. All right, so let's see if you can match me real quick and at this tempo. Good. Now let's move over to your non-dominant hand. Same grip in your non-dominant hand for me is the left. Is the left for you as well?
Yes, it is.
Okay, now we're going to do the same thing. Let's see if you can get that same kind of stroke with your left. Yeah, left is weird, I know. Be careful real quick. Your thumb is extending on the stick vertically. Okay. You want it to wrap around, same as with your right. You want it to be wrapped around in that fulcrum point with your pointer and thumb finger. Yeah, you got a little bit of arm movement, but it's not bad. Just try to decrease the arm movement just a little bit. And on your left hand, you'll be good. Let's go and get around to the back. Alright, that looks pretty good. So I'm going to give you both these sticks now. Or actually, sorry, let me see that one first. And we're going to do what we call 8 on a hand, and it literally is simple as 8 on a hand. We're just going to do it at a slow quarter note tempo. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we're always doing the rebound stroke on these. It's always coming back up to the top. See if you can do it, and I'll try and clap your tempo. Just come in on it when you're ready.
Is it 8 on this hand, 8 on this hand, and 8 on
Yeah,
this
it's 8 on your right, 8 on your left, 8 on your right, and then we're done. So. Not bad. You got a little bit of a hiccup in your left hand, I can tell. So why don't we just do here, you Mystic? And why don't we just do 8 quarter notes on our left hand? Ready? 1, 2, ready, go. Not bad. I was squirreling around a little bit. I held it a little too loosely, so yours actually looked a lot better in mine in that case. Why don't we try 8 on a hand one more time? Okay. 1, 2, ready. Good. I think I rushed the tempo a little bit. If I did, I'm really sorry. But next thing we're going to do is 8th notes around that same tempo. So we know how to count 8th notes. 1 and 2 and so 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and stop. I think you can do that.
I think so.
Should be. Let me see you do it on your own.
So we're going 2 full measures.
Yes. Good. At the very beginning, your left hand had a little bit of a double in there real quick. Did you hear that? All right, so let's try that one more time. And just be careful to not let that make sure to bring it all the way back up with that rebound. When you're ready. Good job. Let me come from the back and see if you were doing anything funny over here with your left hand. Go. You see what that was?
Yeah.
Is that was a rim shot. That means your stick got too low on here. And so in marching band, that's the really loud stuff they do. But remember, always keep your stick at a little bit of an angle, but not too much. And let's see if you try that again. Not bad. Well, thank you, Kevin, for being here with me today. That is basically the basics of snare drum. And if you feel like taking another follow-up lesson later when you're doing percussion methods or something, just come find me. Thanks very much, and have a good day, bud.